From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, October 14th, 2015. Silver is trading at $15.86 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,165 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $253. Antiwar.com reports Israeli troops are being ordered to surround a number of Palestinian neighborhoods around Jerusalem on Tuesday after another round of violence left at least 6 people, including 3 Israelis and 3 Palestinians, dead and a number of others wounded. The Day of Rage, called by Palestinian groups to protest against a growing Israeli crackdown, saw violent attacks by a pair of Palestinian attackers in Jerusalem and another in Tel Aviv. Israeli troops also killed a Palestinian civilian near Bethlehem. 7 Israeli and 29 Palestinians have died so far in a little over a week of violence, including 8 children. The U.S. State Department has condemned stabbing attacks by Palestinians against Israelis as terrorism, but conspicuously declined to label Israeli stabbings of Palestinians as such. Palestinian teens seem inordinately involved in the latest round of protest and attacks, as opposed to previous intifadas, which were fueled by older leadership. These teens grew up in the era after the Oslo Agreement, which was supposed to lead to an independent Palestinian state within a few years. This, however, has never happened, and with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ruling out statehood during the last election, there is a growing sense that diplomacy isn't ever going to lead to a state. Faced with growing unrest, Netanyahu is trying to reassure the public that there are no major plans for changes in the near future and that the status quo will soon return. The status quo, however, may not be seen as favorable by the young protesters. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. UPI reports the controversy involving alleged collusion of psychologists in the Bush administration's interrogation of suspected terrorists after 9/11 took a major legal step forward Tuesday as the ACLU filed a lawsuit against 2 clinicians who engineered the CIA's aggressive program. The suit names 2 psychologists, James Mitchell and Bruce Jessen, as the masterminds behind the agency's intensive interrogation program, which used methods that critics say either crossed into or bordered on torture. The suit was filed Tuesday in Washington State, where both defendants reside. According to the lawsuit, Mitchell and Jessen received more than $80 million in government contracts for their company, which employed 11 of the 13 interrogators the CIA used for its program. The ACLU filed the suit on behalf of Suleiman Abdullah Salim, Mohammed Ahmed bin Saud, and the estate of Gul Rahman, all of whom had been interrogated by the agency at one time or another. The ACLU contends that Mitchell and Jessen committed war crimes by developing the intense interrogation system from which they each substantially profited. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. Reuters reports statements by 5 Baltimore police officers charged in the high-profile death of a man injured in police custody were admissible in the criminal trials on Tuesday. Baltimore City Circuit Court Judge Barry Williams found that Officer William Porter and Sergeant Alicia White, 2 of the 6 officers charged in the death of Freddie Gray, had made their statements without compulsion to internal investigators. Williams said Sergeant White had the opportunity to say no, ruling against defense motions to suppress the statements during a pretrial hearing. 3 of those charged, Lieutenant Brian Rice and Officers Garrett Miller and Edward Nero, also agreed to drop motions to suppress their statements. Gray suffered a spinal cord injury after being arrested in April and transported in a police van. The only officer to decline to give a statement, van driver Officer Caesar Goodson, faces the most serious charge, that of second-degree depraved heart murder, suggesting he showed reckless disregard for Gray's life. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.